It's like so much destruction, like everywhere. It's crazy.
The impact of flooding hitting home tonight. Evacuations in Salt Lake City, roads damaged, sidewalks washed away. We're keeping you covered on that and an incoming storm.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Welcome to the ABC4 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Emily Flores.
And I'm Glenn Mills. Thanks so much for joining us. We do begin tonight with several counties hit with flooding. The spring warm-up already melting snow faster than rivers and drains can keep up. Tonight, we have team coverage on these destructive floods.
Yes, Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy has the latest on flood alerts in effect at this very hour. But first, let's start in Salt Lake City, where emergency managers are asking for volunteers to come and fill sandbags because of the urgent situation happening now. So let's head right out to ABC4's Courtney Johns, who is live near 17th South and 17th East, where new evacuation orders are being issued tonight. Courtney.
That's right, Emily. And we just talked to authorities. They said this is a precautionary evacuation at this port, just letting people know about this area. And it's just incredible to see how many people have shown up in just an hour. I mean, this all started around 8:30. You can see over there, that is where Emigration Creek overflowed. And at this point, for the past 90 minutes, people have just been lining up, picking up sandbags, lining them along the street to try and divert that water back onto Emigration Creek. They're trying to get around 3 to 4 feet worth of sandbags to help move that water. And joining us now, we have a man who helped bring together so many of these volunteers. We have Ben McAdams here. Thank you so much for joining us, Ben.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us, how did you find out about this?
You know, I was talking to one of my colleagues at Salt Lake County. I used to be the mayor of Salt Lake County, and they reached out and they said that we need bodies. And so I put out the call, started texting and messaging people. I wasn't the only one. There were probably another 10 people who were mobilizing their communities. And within a matter of minutes, hundreds of people showed up.
It's incredible to see the community come together here and work together to help with this. What are you hearing from people who live around here who are concerned about their homes?
People are really worried. Most of the homes here on the south side of the road are below the grade of the road. So if this wall we're building fails, you're going to have dozens of homes that are just going to be flooded with massive damage. So people are really worried, and we're just working as fast as we can to build it up and make sure that we protect them.
And I know viewers can't see from way down there, but it seemed like there was a team of people just even waiting in some of the water to help build that up. What is it like out there further down the street?
There's it's probably 1.5 feet deep going down the street. There's a bucket brigade of people who are walking with water up to their, shins, sometimes up to their knees, just carrying bags down and building up the wall as fast as they can and reinforcing it to make sure that this doesn't spill over into the homes that are on the south side of the street.
Ben McAdams, thank you so much for joining us and helping bring together so many of these people. This will make an incredible difference. I really appreciate it. So we have hundreds of people out here right now. There's several people that are, as you can see, putting together sandbags. They have a train of people that are bringing it down the street further to move that water back onto Emigration Creek. We were asking how long this will go, and they said as long as it takes to protect these communities. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Courtney Johns, ABC4 News.
All right. We thank you, Courtney, for rushing to the scene to show us the very latest.
Now we sight there.
Yes.
Wow.
Such a sight, such a team effort there. We want to add that Mayor Aaron Mendenhall says the crews are working to ensure, of course, the water stays diverted from these homes. So if you do need to report any water flooding happening, you can call the city. The number real quick, 801-483-6700.
We turn now to Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy. She's tracking the latest flood alerts tonight, and this situation has been changing through the night, Alana.
Yeah, and we knew that these flooding concerns were going to pop up. And in the last few hours, the flood advisory for Salt Lake County was upgraded. It is now a flood warning. Take a look. This is for Emigration Creek, which peak flow here is from now until midnight in that area, which is why folks are out there working hard, because this is the highest the water is going to get. But this warning is going to hold on through midday tomorrow. That's when we expect those conditions to recede just a little bit. Now, it's not just Salt Lake County, but we are seeing melt-off accelerated throughout the state. Now, as we look at our snow water equivalent, April 10th, we were 29.6 inches. In 2 days, today, we've lost more than 1.5 inches because of the warm-up that we've seen very rapidly, and it's just coming off in the lower elevations and mid-elevations when it comes to snowpack. 78 is where we topped out in Salt Lake, 81 in St. George. Look at those numbers along the Wasatch Front. Now, just a week ago, we were still accumulating snow, and now we're talking about this rapid melting. Bubba taking this on Twitter, driving through Immigration Canyon, and you're able to see that snow just melting right off of the roads here, that water into the roads and funneled into the creek, which is a concern tonight. Just some flood safety tips, because we've seen flood reports in several counties along the Wasatch Front. Do not drive through those flood waters. It is dangerous. This is the time of year where you hear turn around, don't drown, and we mean it. On top of that, you want to make sure that you keep your kids and pets away from rising waters, because this is very cold snow melt. This is flooding, not from heavy rain, from snow melting. Okay, we've got a storm on the way. Our stationary front that's been hanging out provided cloud cover and winds, and we've got wet weather out there. We're tracking that and the impact for your Thursday coming up in my full forecast. Glenn, Emily, back to you.
All right, thank you, Alana. Well, the city of Kaysville also temporarily rerouting stormwater, saying public utilities in the Orchard Ridge area will remain off until further notice. Now, more than 20 homes had to evacuate, and there are several new homes under construction in that area, which is being handled by Ivor Homes Development. Now, the company released a statement saying that their inspectors believe all of the snowmelt overwhelmed the city's storm drain system, which undermined the new streets. A Kaysville resident out helping tonight.
We have no idea what the future holds as far as the rain and snow, so we'll do as much as we can tonight to where we feel like it's reasonably safe, and then just see what the night holds.
All right, the developer also adding new homes have no interior water damage, and at this point there's been no private property damage either.
Another area hit hard with flooding, North Ogden. We're told all of this water you see here coming from two canyons, and the flow is not expected to slow down anytime soon. City officials blame debris blocking water drains, forcing crews and volunteers to divert the water away from homes. Cam Ryan lives nearby. He's one of dozens of people filling sandbags and helping where they can.
Just trying to keep the water heading down into the canal and keeping it out of the people's homes and off the side streets.
North Ogden saying some road closures in the area of 1700 North Fruitland Drive are still in place. This as crews and volunteers will work through the night to keep floodwater flowing in the right direction. They're also asking people to avoid that area unless absolutely necessary.
And now to Salt Lake County, where a combination of snowmelt and debris flooded the Wasatch Hollow detention basin near Immigration Canyon. The debris clogged outlet is now 30 feet underwater. Flood control crews working all day trying to divert the floodwater by creating a temporary flood channel to move floodwater back into a storm drain downhill.
There's a large amount that plugged the outlet to the detention basin, and we weren't able to get to it since it was so deep and far down underwater. We couldn't pull it out, and so at that point we have overflows as you fill up the debris basin with water, and then that water can get out those overflows, and those overflows have also plugged with debris as well.
Salt Lake County Flood Control is hoping the water levels will drop enough tonight and tomorrow to clear out the remaining debris. If you're near a creek or stream, they're asking you to look for any debris like logs and move it away safely, of course, from those areas to prevent more flooding.
We are continuing to monitor that active situation in Salt Lake City tonight, as well as the rest of this situation as snow continues to melt. We'll stay on top of it, and we will let you know what areas are flooding and being evacuated. If we have more from Salt Lake City tonight, we will go back to that, but we will also continue to follow the very latest right here, so make sure to stick with us at ABC4 and ABC4.com.
In Provo tonight, one of Utah's premier annual social events, the Pillar of the Valley Reception and Gala at the Utah Valley Convention Center. Now, the gala and reception held to honor those who have made extraordinary contributions to the business, civic, social, education, and cultural climate of Utah Valley. This year, the Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce recognizing Dr. Richard P. Nilsson and Gail Halverson, also known as the Candy Bomber, as standout members of the community. The event, a celebration of them and their contribution.
We're so grateful to have the stories, the individuals, the memorabilia here representing, the impact and the mark that they made in the communities where they served.
Colonel Halverson was the Candy Bomber, best known for dropping candy during the Berlin airlift to German children from 1948 to 1949. He continued to say that people from Germany flew in to celebrate Halverson, and this is the first time in 15 years that Richard Nilsson has had his entire family together.
How about Major League Baseball coming to Salt Lake City?
How about it? ABC4's Dana Green has the latest on what this could mean for baseball fans in the state, possibly the region. Dana, I think there's some excitement.
There sure is. You know, it's not quite time to play ball just yet, but the process has begun as Utah puts its name in the hat to bring an MLB team to Utah. An official announcement might not come for a few years, but the Miller family hopes to make Salt Lake City a Major League city. Dale Murphy was a 7-time Major League All-Star and longtime Utah resident, and as a part of the coalition Big League Utah, he's excited about the possibility of bringing a Major League team to the Beehive State.
A lot of excitement, a lot of work to do, but you know, it's incredibly exciting to have Gail Miller and the Miller family involved.
A new stadium would be located between the airport and downtown.
I think when you have a 100-acre site, 5 minutes from a major metropolitan area, 5 minutes from an airport, with all of the infrastructure in place and shovel ready, as they like to say, there's not a place like this in the country.
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred says he wants to expand the league from 30 to 32 teams, but cities like Nashville, Las Vegas, Charlotte, and Portland have long been waiting for an opportunity as well. But as the 29th largest market and one of the fastest growing populations, expanding to Utah may be a home run.
Yeah, absolutely. The population base is there and growing. So that's the key. By the time it will have more than enough by the time this announcement is made. And we've shown that we can do it with the Jazz and the Olympics. And it's just, you know, time to do it. I can't, quantify the odds of this happening, but I'll tell you what you need to have it happen. Salt Lake City has everything in place.
An expansion fee could be around $2 billion for a new franchise, not to mention the cost of a new stadium. Major League Baseball, though, does want to expand by 2 teams, one in the East, one in the West. Will it be Las Vegas, Portland, Salt Lake City? It's exciting to think about Major League Baseball possibly coming to Utah. Back to you.
Would love to see it. Thanks so much, Dana. Appreciate that. We're heading back to Salt Lake City, that active scene right now, people being evacuated. Also, lots of volunteers showing up to fill sandbags in the area.
Yes, this is in the area of 1700 South, 1700 East. Courtney Johns is out there live right now. We're going to go back out there so we can see it live. We'll send it out to you, Courtney.
Yeah, so we, as you mentioned, are on 1700 South right now, and I just want to show you all the water that's been rushing right here and just how deep it is. We have volunteers that are moving along this area, just stacking up the sandbags. It's about, I would say, a couple inches deep at this point, but that water is moving fast. And the only thing more impressive than all of this water is the amount of volunteers that have come out here to help the community. They started coming out around 8:30. They got a call, and many of them have been out here for the last hour or so, just stacking these sandbags. And you can see right here, I'll have my photographer pan down. It's about 2 feet up. They need to get 3 to 4 feet higher. And what they're doing right now is all of this water is coming from an overflow of Emigration Creek, and they're trying to divert all of this water to go down that road right there, right down 1700, and then back into the creek to prevent any damage. As we've talked about earlier, they have mentioned evacuations around 30 to 40 homes, but those are precautionary evacuations at this time. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Courtney Johns, ABC4 News.